welcome everybody out to this meeting of the GCOL Houston local chapter. Today we are going to have two speakers, Michelle Thomas and Benny. So we'll go ahead and get started on that end. Benny?
Thank you, Jacob, for the introduction. I would like to first thank Michelle for the robe. She's the designer and maker of the robes. And I would like to thank y'all for tuning in and supporting the GCOL, the Greater Church of Lucifer. My name is Benny, as Jacob introduced me. And when I woke up today, I was ecstatic. I was a little excited. I would be speaking on behalf of the Greater Church of Lucifer. And to me, when I woke up this morning, it was a feeling of relief. Because I wake up without binds, without chains. I'm broken. I walk with the black flame. And that is the awakening of self, the relief of religious slavery. Not having to bow down. There's no one to answer to, no on my consciousness that I owe someone something aside from myself. And that's what I find here and so empowering is self. That's what I have learned and what I feel like I am connecting more and more with every day is self. We empower the self every day more and more so that we can ultimately reach a greater connection with our subconsciousness and a freedom, a relief of all that binds us. It all started with now today, we have a great source of communication over the internet and over Facebook. The GCOL is how I met Jacob. I was a little hesitant at first, just as anyone would be. And there, as I slowly got to message him and speak with him, I became accustomed to, what I had already known and felt. I felt that something was inside, that a feeling that needed to be released. But I was, just like many of us are, raised in a Christian, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, etc., where we are bowing before someone. Where we owe a superior being. I'm not here to say that any of that is not real or whatnot. That is someone else's opinion and choice, but my own on my behalf. I have found that it is all in my self-righteousness. And the more and more I learn every day, the more and more I see, the more and more my eyes are open through meditation and self-right. I know that it is all within me. I wake up for me. I go to work for me. I eat for me. I pay my bills for me. And for the people I love, my wife, my kids, my family. I am your ordinary average Joe. I'm a father, a husband. I have my 3 kids. I got a new one. Yeah, my 3 kids. And my wife here with me today to prove that it is not just some the old cliche, it's some dark and eye mascara over me and that I'm worshiping the devil. There's no deity to me here. There's no one but me. I am here in self for me. No one has given me anything but myself. Anything I've asked for, I've gotten it because of me. Anything I've had done to me is because of me. Cause and effect, the reaction. If I do something wrong, go out and steal, there are going to be consequences if I get caught. If I go and decide to want to kill someone, there are going to be consequences. And those are all acts of self. If I go and work hard, chances are, I might get rewarded if I keep at it. Nothing is given. You must get it on your own. And here, I am before all of you. Just as you are. Nothing more than you. But with my eyes open. The blindfold is removed, and I'm seeing me for me. And I would just like to prove that I am just like, anyone else in the suburbs or anyone else like that. I have my like I said earlier, my wife and my kids with me. And if it'd be appropriate, do you mind if I would show them?
It's fine, it's up to you.
Landon, Valerie, come here. I don't know if they fit in here. We're here today, free. This is where it all starts, in the root. Innocence. They know nothing, and they shouldn't know slavery. We're here as a family. We're not sacrificing. We're not out demonic. Nothing of that sort. We're here to be free. We're here for ourselves. Be careful, guys. Go this way.
Again.
And I hope that anyone who tunes in and everyone who does for the future will see that it's all within you. And then that you can find your power and your will to do everything within you. There's no necessity to bow before or pray or ask for anyone else but yourself. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Benny, Naomi, and family. I sincerely appreciate you guys coming up and sharing how you truly feel about everything. The GCOL is meant to be a family organization. Eventually, once we have physical locations, we'll have a children's program that will be considered non-dogmatic. It will teach basic human needs on how to become responsible adults for the future. That's the objective here. The GCOL was not intended for this generation. It's intended for our children's and our children's children. Next up, we have Michelle Thomas. She'll be giving a talk also. So when you're ready.
For most of humanity, consciousness is only an illusion. For this reason, we are not reaching our potential and we are not acting according to our true will. Humans are basically machines at their lowest level. Take, for example, an airplane, but you have never seen an airplane before. So you approach the airplane and you see a mechanism with a cabin and you see that it's on wheels. So you attach horses to it and you pull it along the road and it moves slowly and it gets you where you're going, so it does the job. Now you decide to study the airplane and you see that it has mechanical parts that move and an engine, and you study it a little bit more and you learn that it can fly, and you study it even more and you learn how to fly it. This is how humanity is. Without studying ourselves, we're moving along very slowly, barely functioning. But once we study ourselves, we can essentially learn how to fly. Humans run like machines at our lowest function. We work from 3 different centers: intellectual, emotional, and instinctual. And these often contradict each other. So at one moment, we may want one thing, where at the next moment, we want something else. So we're not unified. And we may not remember what we want from one moment to the next. We are not conscious. In order to become conscious, we must become aware and we must become unified. So we must do this from self-study, and in doing this, we must have 2 goals. Number 1 is to figure out who our true selves are, And number 2 is to learn our false or automatic selves. We must study our patterns of behavior, practice self-remembrance, and we must recognize when we are acting from our centers. This can be a little bit tricky because our true self is not void of intellect or emotions. However, the intellect and emotions do not contradict each other. If that's a little bit confusing to you, think of it as this way. We have our lower selves and our higher selves, or our damaged or ego self and our higher self. The ego is empty, it's incomplete, it's always seeking for more, and it's always seeking to validate itself. The ego doesn't feel that it's good enough, it's always seeking validation. The higher self is complete, it's satisfied, it's happy, and it's whole. The higher self does not seek validation, it seeks to evolve. However, our true self cannot evolve when we're working from our ego, and the ego cannot evolve. In conclusion, we are not born conscious. We are not taught that we are not conscious. In order to become conscious, we must undergo extensive amounts of self-study, and only once we achieve consciousness can we evolve. Thank you.
So that will conclude our meeting for tonight. Thank you for everybody for coming out. I appreciate their time and effort. I know tonight was a short one. The next meeting will be announced. From what I understand, Michael W. Ford will be here again to talk about a new release that he'll have coming out. So